Welcome to Pacific Mystery School, the home of Terra Nova and the Tarot of the Spirit, Visionary Cosmology, and we are meeting today in the very beginning of August, where the Six of Fire glory has come into the fullness of its being on the Tarot calendar. The Tarot calendar is available in Kabbalah and Tarot of the Spirit, so you can see it in that book. So just to review very quickly about the sixes, the 4 sixes. We've been working with the 4 sixes essentially. So the 6 of Fire is active at the very midsummer. We're in midsummer right now. So midsummer is August 2nd to 11th. The 6 of Water is active in mid-fall, and so that's November 2nd to the 12th. The 6 of Wind / Air is active in midwinter, which is January 20th to February 8th, and Earth, 6 of Earth, that's mid-spring, and that's active May 1st to the 10th. So those dates correspond with what has been called in the Celtic tradition, which is something that I am born out of that Celtic tradition. Those have been called the cross-quarter holidays. They're actually at the height of each season, right in the middle of each season. The sixes represent synergy in visionary cosmology. The sixes are at the very heart, they live at the very heart of the tree of life in sphere number 6 to ferret. That is a sphere of balance and mediation, and it is right in the middle of what has often been called the cosmic wedding, which is the meeting of above and below, heaven and earth, all pairs of opposites, all complementary and supplementary forces and forms. This is where they come together, right in the heart of the tree of life, if you're studying Kabbalah. At the 6 of Fire, which is called glory, that's the place where we make our offering. It is the midsummer. It's when the land is coming into fruition and where we are coming into fruition and where we make our offering into the world. 6 of Water, faith, is the place where we learn that all is in divine order. 6 of Wind / Air, we become very clear about how things fit together. We understand that intellectually. It's a place of high consciousness. And we come into the realization that the universe is not capricious. At the 6 of Earth, beauty, the beauty way, we come into the realization about what it means to walk in beauty, with beauty before me, beauty behind me, beauty above, below, and all around me. So that's the 6 of Earth.
So I got confused.
Go ahead.
Well, you said that 6 of Water is faith, divine order, and then you said 6 of Air is high consciousness, divine order.
The 6 of Air, wind, clarity. That's the place where we learn, again, it is divine order, because we learn in that place that the universe is not capricious. Not capricious. You know, that meaning that there's reason. Because the wind, that's a place of reason, of consciousness, of mental understanding. And we start to learn that there's an order and a reason for things. And it's a different kind of order because we learn it with faith, with the water, we feel it in our bodies. And with the wind, in the suit of wind, we know it with our minds. And our consciousness rises. Okay, so we're in the space today, which in the Celtic tradition is called Lammas. It's the cross-quarter holiday of Lammas, Lammas. And Lammas is known as the first harvest in midsummer, August 2nd. It's a time, the harvest is a time for giving and also a time for receiving. And I wanted to just share with you the tiny bit out of the Master Khalil Gibran on giving and receiving. He says, there are those who have little and give it all. These are the believers in life and the bounty of life, and their coffer is never empty. There are those who give with joy, and that joy is their reward. And there are those who give with pain, and that pain is their baptism. And there are those who give and know not pain in giving, nor do they seek joy, nor give with mindfulness of virtue. They give as in yonder valley the myrtle breathes its fragrance into space. And that's really our goal as spiritual students, is to learn how to give just as a flower would give, as a rose would give, just because it's the nature of the flower. And then moving into being a receiver. What about us as receivers? And you receivers, he says, and you are all receivers. Assume no weight of gratitude, lest you lay a yoke upon yourself and upon him who gives. Rather, rise together with the giver on his gifts as on wings. For to be over mindful of your debt is to doubt his generosity, who has the free-hearted earth for mother and God for father. That's the way he puts it in his cosmology, Khalil Gibran, but I love this idea to rise in the giving and receiving both together on wings, and not to be over mindful of the debt as a receiver, because what is given in beauty. At Lammas is a time for giving and a time for receiving. Through giving and receiving, we become empowered to heal. Giving and receiving is part of healing. It is a part of blessing and being blessed. Ultimately, what we are receiving is universal spirit, universal life force, universal power. That is at the 6 of fire, because the fire is the suit of the spirit and life force and power of the universe. So what I want to do is I want to talk about the 6 of earth, the card, the 6 of earth, glory. I'm saying 6 of earth. I mean 6 of fire, the 6 of fire, glory. But to get there, I want to do a review on the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, just a quick review. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of fire, to see what leads up to that place of where we are receiving and giving the power of spirit. So first of all, if we start with 0, which isn't even on the chart yet, the 0 that we move out of into the suit of fire, 0 is the field. That is the energy field that we are moving in throughout the universe. It's the field of charged particles and waves throughout the universe. It's all that is seen and unseen on the inner and outer, charged and flowing, the charged and flowing invisible energy field. So that's the field that we come out of. Then we move into number 1, the 1 of fire. That's force. And it's called force. The name of the card is force. Force is the life force, it's the power, it's the chi, it's the prana, it's the energy of the universe. It's the energy that keeps everything moving. Then we go into the number 2, and that's convergence, 2 of fire. Connections are made, and they're made in nexus points of the universe where charged particles come together. They're drawn together, they come together, and then something's going to happen out of that. In the number 3 card, it's called the birth of light. And in this place, the birth of light, circuits form and flow out of those nexus points where the two come together. At the birth of light, circuits form and flow out like veins, like a web, like a matrix, like energy channels that are flowing everywhere through the universe. In the number 4, which is called flame of spirit, energy channels deepen. Energy centers pour into meridians, and these meridians flow and radiate in clear, empowered, and controlled ways. These meridians, these energy channels, are, in a sense, the cosmic fire contained in the forms of the universe. The universe is or becomes like a field, a light with radiance. And if we just look at the card, the 4 of fire, what we see is a blue energy field. It's like a blue energy field. In the middle, there's a structure that's a light with radiance, and coming out, well, it's a diamond shape. And then in the center, there's a yellow diamond, and that's light. And then it emits out in rays that go in all directions. Radiant energy, which is flowing out. I call this card the church card or the temple card. Okay, so, and I want to point out also on the altar today, I not only have the 4 of fire card, which I call the church or temple card, which, by the way, is Mercury in Aries. And so the Aries energy is like a whole new beginning, a whole new way of knowing, and the Mercury is communication, and it's all happening in this kind of temple and then radiating out everywhere. And I also put on the altar today the Virgin of Guadalupe, and I have 2 different depictions of her, but both of them show the rays coming out around her body in the same way. You see how the rays are coming out? Okay, so the 4 represents a stabilization like of the body, and when all the circuits are in motion, the rays are sailing out. And in these 2 depictions, by the way, and these are the 2 most common depictions of the Virgin of Guadalupe, in one of them you see the rays of the Our Lady of Guadalupe on the earth, coming up through the roses, through her body, and she's standing on the earth, and then she's got blue sky all around her, and she's wearing a green cloak with golden sparkles, and the golden sparkles that's the life force energy of the universe that is going to set in motion all of the field of creation on the planet Earth. And then in the other depiction, we see her standing in a field of the stars. Her cloak is the universe, and she's wearing the universe, and here she is completely illuminated in her universal energy. So those are the 2 really common depictions that you will see of her. And my challenge is that I want us to be as illuminated and radiant as the Virgin of Guadalupe. That's our goal. That is the Earth Sister Shekinah, the holy energy of the Shekinah turned way up. Okay, and that's my desire. Okay, so that would be great. That would be really good. We've got the rays coming out. We've got all the meridians working. We've got all the energy flowing. Everything's great. And then, bam, it gets interrupted. Because now we come to the 5. So we have the 5 of fire, and this is the stuff that we are least expecting to happen to us. This is where we get broadsided. Or we broadside somebody. Like, I had a crazy dream last week that I had to back into a parking space, which is something I don't like to do anyway. But in my dream, I was going to back into a parking space, and for some reason, I didn't even look in the rear view mirror or outside of my car or anything. I saw the parking space, and I was going to back in, and I just hit the accelerator and backed up, smashing a car that was actually parked sideways. I missed the parking space by about 6 feet, and I smashed into this other car, and the driver was sitting in it.
Oh.
And then that car backed up. I hit it so hard that car smashed another car behind it, and I wasn't sure how long the chain reaction was in my dream. And I thought, why didn't I just look in the rearview mirror? So it was my fault. I knew it was my fault. And I thought, how will I explain myself? Because even if I go to court to defend myself, aren't they just going to say this is careless driving or reckless driving? And well, it kind of is, so in my dream, I didn't even know how I was going to get off the hook, or if I should even try to get off. I don't know, but that's what happens. Usually it happens to us. We're not doing it to somebody else, somebody hits the accelerator and backs into us when we least expect it. And then there goes the radiant field. So all the rays that are coming out around us, they get wrinkled and they droop and they fall down and there's holes in them. And, then Our Lady of Guadalupe, which we aspire toward, she's standing in the middle of the heavenly or earthly field, and her rays are all drooping and they're tattered. And it's like, wow, what happened? What happened? That's the 5 of fire, the struggle, because then we have to figure out how to get out of it. Okay, so, and a lot of times what happens is this 5 of fire energy, it's the battle that we move into. It's the struggle we move into. This is the wars on the planet. This is the refugees stuck in the middle of a forest trying to get into a country, for decades in the middle of a forest, and no one will let them come in. And the kids are growing up in the forest, and they're becoming adults in the forest, not being able to be led into any country. This is the 5 of fire, the struggle. This is a place of implosion where things just fold in on each other. It's like a volcanic implosion. It's a place of a blackout where we just black out, or the town blacks out, like Venezuela, blackout in Venezuela. It's a place of a burning field. In California, all of our fires, most of our fires were started by, the big fires were started by our power company accidentally with transformers that were shooting out sparks that ignited areas, and then they burst into flame, and this has been happening for the last few years here. That's the 5 of fire, struggle, where we've got a burning field, where we've got a blackout. This is the place where we get sick. We're not expecting it, and all of a sudden something happens where we become ill with some kind of disorder, and the energy flow through the body gets halted in some way, and it stops flowing. The energy stops moving. And then that can also multiply. That's not the word I'm looking for, but it can spread in a way on itself. By the way, our injuries a lot of times come first through our emotional body. If our emotional body gets disturbed in some way, then it will have a physiological manifestation within our physical body. But a lot of times our emotional body gets interrupted with these things that happen. Okay, so this is the war. This is the place of the war. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is the place of the battleground. The whole book centers around the battleground, where Arjuna finds himself on the battleground and he says, why me? What am I doing? Why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing? I don't really want to kill those people. I'm pretty sure I know that guy over there who is my uncle, and that's what the whole story's about. So what am I supposed to be doing? And we're asking, why? Why the battleground? Why the bloody ground? Why the war? Why the struggle? This is all about fragmentation within ourselves. And we see on that 5 of fire card, we see the dark center, and we see the 6-pointed star, which would normally be at the center of the tree of life and shining brightly, we see it with a dark center. Okay, so we move from that place through revelations, through the war settling down, the energies finally settling, we begin to move into the place of glory. We're not there yet. I mean, this takes time. It takes time to move through all these things. So once we've got a charred field, that where there's been the fire, there's going to be a little lag time, and pretty soon in the following season, lo and behold, out of those ashes up come the shoots of grass. There they are. It's miraculous. That's the glory that shines through, that comes out of that bloody field, which becomes a fertile field. And here comes the new life. After the battle is over, the field is bloody, the field is disorganized, there's blood, there's decomposition, ashes, and it slowly becomes the fertile field. The outer field, when we look at the card, the Six of Fire, the outer field is dark around the card that surrounds it. It's dark, but it's full of sparking lights. Like there can be light in the darkness. There is light in the darkness if we could see it. If we could see it, if we could perceive it, the darkness is radiant darkness. It is full with the potential of sparkling light. The radiant darkness, a potentially illuminated and eventually fully illuminated energy field. And so just looking at the symbology on the card, at the top of the card we see a wing-like formation in white. And this wing-like formation, well, first of all, we'll remember that you can overlay the Tree of Life on all of these cards, the Tree of Life diagram. And what that wing-like formation is illuminating is the top of the Tree of Life, the wingspan connecting spheres 1, 2, and 3 on the Tree of Life. Okay, so the spheres 1, 2, and 3 connected on the sphere of life, that is Keter, Chokmah, and Binah, and that is the beginning of all the energies that are going to appear in the universe. Chokmah is the energy of desire, and Binah is the energy of the birth that comes out of the desire. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So those come together, the supernal or cosmological triangle. And then what happens is that those are going to begin to become charged up in this card, the Six of Fire. This energy that moves out of that supernal triangle, also called the cosmological triangle, is the radiant energy of the universe. It is the energy that desires to connect, it desires to receive, it desires to give, and it desires to commune and to continue in an open pathway that flows between, around, and inside these three interrelated 1, 2, and 3. Inside the wings on the card, we see a figure which is called the diamond sun. And the diamond sun represents a higher form of consciousness, an illuminated energy, and we see it's illuminated completely in the center. And the center of it, by the way, takes place on the pathway where the priestess and the empress cross on the Tree of Life. It is formed of the red, the blue, the yellow, and the green, which represent spirit, heart, mind, and body all working together. The tree grows up out of the battlefield, and the tree that we see growing up out of the battlefield, that would be the tree of our own being. It could also be the tree of, it could be the tree of society or the tree of community or whatever's happening, but it's going to grow up out of the battlefield. And right now I'm going to look at that as the tree of our own selves, as the tree of our own bodies. This is the Tree of Life. And what the Tree of Life shows us is life is going to continue. Life will continue. Life is reborn. The battle has been horrendous. It is horrendous. It rages all around us, actually, at all times. Wherever we look, we're going to see it. or when we look for it, rather, I'll put it that way. When we look for it, we're going to see it. But even so, the cosmos continues to birth itself anew. That is the nature of what happens. Then the tree bears fruit. So the tree is going to grow up out of the battlefield and it will bear fruit. So we see on the card the tree producing the fruit. This is the fruit of what has been learned, the fruits of what you have learned, the fruits of what I have learned. Even though it may still be difficult for us, even though the field may still be bloody, and even though the uppermost fruits of the tree may still be reaching only into that dark sphere number 11 called dot, that's as high as that tree reaches. It is growing, it is reaching toward the most fabulous mysteries of the universe. We are growing, we are reaching. And in this reaching and in this striving, we find our offering. But when we find our offering is our offering. We find our offering in the question of what we have learned through this battle, and also in what we have turned to, or what we habitually or traditionally turn to get through the battles. That's where our offering resides. But because we've been through these battles and we're going through these struggles, when we find our offering, and that's what we want to give out into the world, it comes in a very humble way. And the reason it's humble is because of what we've gone through to get to it. We become humbled along the path. I'm just going to leave it at that without going any further into that. So take it from me. Just believe me for this minute that we get humbled along this path. So our offerings are going to be the humble offerings of our fruits. What do you have to give? How can you serve? How can I serve? Those are the questions that go along with the 6 of fire. Glory. You are the tree. You will keep growing. Grow toward the diamond sun. Grow toward the diamond sun of your inner and outer being. That's the enlightened consciousness within ourselves. Grow toward and into the radiance. Remember who you are and reconnect. Connect with the matrix of energy that is all around you and inside you. Become empowered through this matrix of energy, even as you offer yourself in service. This is a humble place to be, the 6 of fire, and yet it's a beginning. It's the beginning of living in a beautiful new way after the struggle. It is a sphere of far deeper understanding. A sphere where the path and power of enlightenment is set in motion. This is the moment where the battleground, as in the Bhagavad Gita, becomes the carpet upon which the yogas are practiced. The yogas of your life. Yoga is about harnessing the energies of the universe. That's what the word means. Yoga means to yoke, and it means to harness. We are striving to yoke or harness consciousness, and as we learn that more and more, we become what is called in the Bhagavad Gita a knower of the field. And I want to read you something out of Bhagavad Gita about knowing the field. So the field is that cosmos which is potentially illuminated within and all around us. The field, Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, first of all, Arjuna's on the battlefield asking, why am I doing all this? And then Lord Krishna begins to, who is the God of love, begins to teach him and instruct him about what he's doing on the battlefield, right? So the battlefield is real, but it also becomes a metaphor for our spiritual struggles. Krishna says, the field denotes this body, and wise men call one who knows it the field knower. Know me as the field knower in all fields. What I deem to be knowledge is knowledge of the field and its knower. Hear from me in summary what the field is in its character and changes. The field changes. and of the field knower's power. What is your power as a field knower within the changing field? The field contains the great elements: individuality, understanding, unmanifest nature, the 11 senses, and the 5 sense realms. Longing, hatred, happiness, suffering, bodily form, consciousness, resolve. Thus is the field, with its changes defined in summary. Knowledge means humility, sincerity, nonviolence, patience, honesty, reverence for one's teacher, purity, stability, self-restraint. I'm just reading a few pieces of this. I shall teach you, says Krishna, what is to be known. For knowing it, one attains immortality. It is called the Supreme Infinite Spirit, beginninglessness, neither being nor non-being. Its hands and feet reach everywhere, its head and face seen in every direction, see in every direction, hearing everything. It remains in the world, enveloping all. Lacking all the sense organs, it shines in their qualities. Unattached, it supports everything without qualities. It enjoys them. Outside and inside, within all creatures, inanimate, but still animate, too subtle to be known. It is far distant, yet near. This is the field, the field. Undivided, it seems divided among creatures, understood as their sustainer. It devours and creates them. The light of lights beyond darkness, it is called. Knowledge attained by knowledge, fixed in the heart of everyone. So, in summary, I have explained the field. This is Krishna still talking.
Right.
And knowledge of it. A man devoted me, knowing this, enters my being. Okay. And as you can guess, we are going to start moving into the field. That is our task, right? It is knowing the nature of this field, in knowing the nature of the universe, that we can begin then to participate with the universe and become empowered in the universe. We can also see the fruits of the tree that grows up and out of the field as our own chakras, energy centers within our own beings. This is the fruit as chakras. Energy centers within our beings, which will, as we begin to work with these energies, which will issue the rays and the channels for the energy to flow on, to come into us and to go out of us. More fruits will come, more offerings. The chakras and all the energies that arise out of the chakras will organize themselves along the central pillar of the tree of life, the trunk of the tree, and they will become the illuminated chakra system in time. Right now, these energy centers are receivers. Right now, they are transmitters, and they are at work within all of us right this minute. An example of receiving and transmitting is, for example, we could receive with one hand, maybe receive with our left hand if we're right-handed, and give with our right hand, receive with our left hand, give with our right hand. Energy begins to flow through our bodies. That's just an example. You can shift it. It goes both ways. You can use both hands to give and receive, give and receive. So we begin to work with this universal energy. So I think you can begin to see where I'm going with this, as working with this universal energy. Even feeling that in our hands, receiving with one hand, transmitting with the other hand, this action opens, creates, and connects all these energy pathways that have been and ever shall be, that always have been and ever shall be. And we can work with this as transmitters, as receivers and transmitters of this energy. In the Six of Fire, this energy is the action of Jupiter in Leo, which is like this expansion in the energy of electric energy, of fire moving into the space of electric energy. It is the early action contained in the one of fire, force. The one of fire is force. And in the one of fire, it's not directed. It's just a force. It's, may the force be with you. Here's the force, here's the power. And that's what we're talking about in the one of fire. And by the time we have been through the 1, 2, 3, 4 of fire, then we hit the disruption of the 5 of fire. Now we are learning how to work with these energies on a whole new level by the time we get to the 6. Does that make sense in the flow? Okay, good. Okay. So this is the action that's contained in the one of fire, but it's been through adjustments, many adjustments along the way. And according to the calendar of the day, the tarot calendar of the day, these energies today are actually carried by Fire Brother and Fire Sister. Those are two corresponding cards that move with this day. Fire Sister is the overseer of the season, and Fire Brother is the overseer of the day, of our moment today. The Fire Brother and Fire Sister oversee the 6 of fire today. And Fire Brother is going to be spanning this period. This is the time of Lammas again. Lammas is the time of the harvest. So traditionally, for example, in the ancient European Celtic knowledge, Lammas is the time where the earth is blossoming and you see all the energy coming up out of the earth, but it comes into the fullness out of the earth into the fruits, right? So you see what I'm doing? I'm taking that and I'm moving it forward into the dimension of the universal energy flow and field that is within our body and around our body that also brings up the fruits of the field. And when the fruits of the field come up, those are what we're giving, those are what we're receiving at this time of year. So this is how the energy moves through the year. So this is the time of Lammas, the time of abundance, the time of abundant power, the time of the abundant power of the cosmos to produce and bear fruit. Midsummer. Earth offers herself in glorious bounty. August 1st is the crossing point between the 5 of fire into the 6 of fire. So I say, let us cross over right now into the 6 of fire. The battlefield becomes the field of fruition. Glory, glory, glory. You are the fire brother. You are the fire sister. You can harness and move universal power. The force is within you. The force is with you. This is the force energy, the prana, the chi, the ki power. Harnessing this power, you can help to heal that which is broken. That which is broken. And this is central, as far as I'm concerned, to Terra Nova. This is what we do every time we breathe in the effulgent energy. We harness the power of the universe. We can charge up our energy centers. We can connect the circuits. We can empower the radiance. We can heal. We can make whole. We can cause the darkness to shine again. And we can create new worlds. That is the essence of this moment, the 6 of fire. Glory. And now I'd like to just take a few minutes to complete the path through fire. And then I want to go back and look at how we can use this energy from the 6 of fire. So completing the path through the fire, the next card, number 7, is called courage. Courage means having the heart to rise up out of the darkness. That takes, heart energy, willpower of the heart, to claim our own experience and to claim our experience in the battle. Like, what is your experience of the battle? How did you experience that battle? How are you experiencing that battle? And how does that become your own gift? This is the center of it, This is your gift. This is where your gift comes from. How were you moving inside that war? To know how and why you came to be as you are. Because you are unique. You are unique. You have never been before. You will never be again. Not as you are right now. This is the courage to tell your own story. The story of your own shining light. and to pursue the diamond sun of your own being, within and without. Courage is breaking out of that which has entrapped you. Then we come to the next card. That's the 8 of fire, the lightning path. And what we learn with the lightning path is, oh, this is how it all fits together. Everything that is interconnected. Here's where we can see the whole, all of it, all the energy centers, all the channels at once, how it becomes illuminated and all fits together, how it all fits together. We move from the 8 into the 9. The 9 is the eye of fire. At the 9 of fire, we see so clearly, you can see so clearly, it's as if you are seeing from the very center of all that is, as well as far above and outside all that is. Above and beyond, all the channels are alive and flowing. All that flickered with possibility bursts into a powerful radiance in the 9 of fire. This is Kundalini energy. This is the full force power of universal connection, which is universal healing. Healing means wholeness, right? Healing means to become whole. It is the powerful essence of generation and regeneration. This is the field illumined within and without. Then we come to the 10, which is called the cage. Okay, why the 10? Why the cage at the very end of all of this? Why? Okay, what about this take on the cage? Here's a different one. The empowered energy that we tap, that we have the power to tap and the potential to tap in this process, is so vast that it actually can no longer fit into the form that has held it. Okay, all right then, what are we going to do? So I cry unto you. Let us create expansive forms. Let us emerge inside. Let us emerge outside into the new, a new definition of self, a new definition of ourselves as living universe in the inspirited blossoming of the biomic universe, the universe within and all around us, the living universe. Let us create new forms. Let us create new vehicles to carry the forms. This power is with us. This force is with us, and we can do this. So I say unto you, in reverence, let us make our offering. In reverence, I make my offering. In reverence, I make my offering. And I want to add onto this, in humility and reverence, I make my offering. Humility and reverence, because the field's always shifting, the field's always changing, and we are going to have to keep changing within this field. Having said all that, which is a lot, I would like to take us into a short meditation to work with this energy and to activate it right now. And to begin just very, very simply and very gently to enter into this amazing process by sharing breath with the enveloping cosmos. Before we do that, I will just add once again that this is the energy that we use in hands-on healing, what you might call faith healing. This is the energy that comes in, that we work with, that we can use for healing. It speeds up the process of healing for one who is able to receive it. We can use this energy, we can tap this energy for healing ourselves, we can tap it for realization. This is also the energy that we can use to clear spaces that have become clouded or darkened, either within ourselves or around us. It also creates spheres of protection around us. It is a sphere that we can learn to create when we're feeling, well, the word that's coming to me, though, it just seems rather strong, but I guess I'll say it anyway because it's coming, is if we feel assaulted in any way. This is energy that we can raise up within ourselves to create for ourselves a shield. And it is the energy of the love of the universe. So if we just begin by breathing.
So you're taking this into, can I record this?
Yes. So we're going to begin by breathing. And we're just going to breathe in the effulgent universe. Breathe in the effulgent universe. We are breathing in, as we breathe in the effulgent universe, we are breathing in chi. It's been called chi, prana, ki, pneuma, mana. Breathe in. It's been called ruach. It is the breath of life. It is the power. It is the force. It is the spirit. This is the energy medicine of the universe, available within and all around us. This energy comes from the sun. It comes up out of the ground. It's in the air we breathe. It flows out of the trees. It moves out of the water. It is the living universe. It is the healing energy of the universe. Breathe into it. Breathe. We are part of the whole system of the healing energy of the universe. The electromagnetic field, the aura within and around us, the field of the universe, the inner field, the outer field. It's within our bodies. It's within our chakras. It's within the energy channels within our bodies. And by breathing in the effulgent universe, breathing in and breathing out, breathing in and breathing out, slowly, we are charging our energy body. Our energy body is that which occupies a visible space, our visible physical body. And we also have an energy field that extends beyond our visible body. It moves around us, radiating out as an aura. And it radiates out even further than the small aura that surrounds our body. It moves out into the cosmos, radiating outward. And as you breathe in and you breathe out, you can feel that energy radiating outward. Just like Our Lady of Guadalupe, just imagine that energy flowing through you and out. It radiates our chakras, the invisible power energy centers or transformers that absorb, that digest, and that distribute this energy all through our body. Breathing in, we breathe into those energy centers. And those energy centers absorb and digest and distribute the energy throughout our bodies, and then it moves out into our aura and out into rays around us. We breathe in the effulgent universe, the breath of life. We activate the energies of Earth Sister within ourselves, the Shekinah energy, the energy of Mary as Guadalupe. We can breathe in. We can clear our chakras by breathing in the effulgent energies of the universe. We can clear our chakras and we can vitalize them. We can open and create energy channels. Healing can flow throughout our entire body. Imagine these energy channels all the way through your body, flowing into your hands, your fingers, flowing down your legs, into your feet. This is a moment then of gratitude. 6 of fire, glory, deep gratitude, gratitude after the battle, rising up out of the field with the intention of connecting the life force of the universe, reaching toward it, feeling it within, expanding through our will, the courage to go on in gratitude, thank you, thank you, thank you. And in blessing, I breathe in the spirit of the universe. I breathe in the effulgent universe. Within the living universe, I feel my aliveness. In reverence, then, I make my humble offering. Bless, bless, bless. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now, having felt this simple beginning, this remembrance of what it is like to tap that energy field within and without, let us return to full waking consciousness, knowing that we can tap this field anytime we remember, and it becomes part of our deep and ongoing consciousness. Today of all days, the day of the 6 of fire, glory, where we arise up out of the battle, seeking healing, wholeness, the heart of ourselves and the heart of our universe. We are, I am. That thou art. I am that I am. Thou art that thou art. Living universe.